Going for Pepsi. You ready?
All right. The Whims of Fate, having been tasked with preventing the death of Severa, Queen of the Britons, traveled to the city of Londinium, only to discover that she had already passed away, and that Constance, now going by the name of Vortigern, was remarrying the daughter of the Saxon chief Hengist that evening. Officially declared of having succumbed to consumption, there are some amongst the populace that believed foul play was involved, particularly from the Saxons. Wanting to learn more, not wanting to let the journey go to waste, the party temporarily is split to draw less attention and to cover more ground. Those inside the city eventually reconvened at the Unicorn Inn and were reunited with Igraine, Duchess of Cornwall. There it was decided that they would attend the wedding of Constance and his new bride, and split again to make their preparations. Erden, having performed expertly on the city streets, was hired on the spot to play music in the lead up to the ceremony. Prior to the festivities, he met briefly with Rowena, the bride to be, answering her questions about her future husband and having a cold reunion with his father, who was working as a tailor for this particular event. Igraine took Idea to have a dress made for her for the evening. As she was having her measurements taken, a finely dressed woman entered the store who seemed to take a subtle interest in the Amazonian. Idea briefly exchanged greetings with the woman in Fey, and later noticed the woman following them after she and Igraine had left the boutique. While they waited for the others to return, Rada received word from Emrys that he had another vision, and tasked the party with preventing Rowena from committing suicide, much to Tong's chagrin. Attending the wedding, Tong, using the pseudonym Wei Fong, met the knight Ectorius, and after learning of his connections to Caloris and Igraine, psychically asked if he would be loyal to the rebellion going out west, potentially gaining the party another ally behind enemy lines. Following the ceremony, the party reconvened to discuss further actions, but were interrupted when Rada, ever vigilant, noticed a woman wearing a white gown with fiery red eyes enter the banquet hall and march up to the high table.
Oh, beautiful. All right. So, this week,
This week
on the
we all
Whims of
die.
Fate.
Who's taking the fall on walking up to the table now that the white lady's there?
What was up?
Who's taking the fall on having to walk up to the table now that the white lady's there?
The final countdown.
It's the final countdown.
The fun part is that not everyone is aware of the danger. I mean, you're still not all together.
Yeah. Tooth has gone to take a look at Severa's room, and Idea and Tong don't have any idea who the new guest is.
We are mostly together though because we're sitting at a table eating.
Most of you, yeah. So I want to know, Brina, what's going through your head right now?
I'm not sure if I've noticed Rod. I don't think I noticed Rada's panic.
I think it was just Tong and Idea.
It was just Tong and Idea who noticed Rada's panic.
Well, So,
But would I notice them noticing her panic and then be able to
well,
look at Rada?
what I remember was that Idea asked, "Is it time to riot?" And Ra was like, "No, we have a new friend, an old friend is here." Erden used divine sense, realized it was the same level but opposite. Is another guest,
The
and
red-haired lady.
Brina,
Our
yeah,
pursuer of.
yeah, and Brina said, "We're in trouble, aren't we?" Before Erden said, "Like, if
I didn't know this
we're,
would be everyone's last meal.
yeah, if
That's the quote I have down from Aridin.
yeah, uh, if we, I think it was like something along the lines: if we don't draw attention to ourselves, we shouldn't. We should be being the key word."
Yes. Everyone is aware of this conversation. Like, this isn't a subtle conversation in your group. So yes, your attention would have been drawn to the fact that the white lady is here.
Okay. With that, I'm gonna look at Rada and Aridin and kind of just like raise an eyebrow. It's like, is this who I think it is?
Yes.
Because Brina has not actually seen the white lady. She's just heard stories. Because she was not dumb enough to follow the rest of you into the other world to fight her.
I think where I was. She's just gonna be like, okay, the lady that just walked in. Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I,
avoid any contact.
uh, I, I don't think it needs to be said, but you're not going up there right now.
Nobody is. No
No,
sudden movements.
Don't move. Her move is
So,
based off of sight.
we've kind of seen the physical effects of what has been on with Rada, but how is Rada's mental state right now?
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!
Erden, what about you?
Uh, so a panicked calm. Like, yes, he knows the consequences of what could possibly happen here, but he's also actively trying to figure out how to get out of the room with as few casualties as possible. He's just thinking, okay, I am not my best. I have half armor, basically. I have one sword. I am woefully unprepared.
and we're still trying to prevent the queen from killing herself.
Mm-hmm. At this point,
So
Ern's kind of like looking for anything else that will go wrong.
while this was all going through your head, she does approach the high table. She does bow to the king and the queen. She starts talking to the king. She introduces herself to the queen. It's kind of evident that she's doing an introduction. It's all very civil. And then, once she's done that, she doesn't hover around the high table. She actually goes to a side table and starts piling food onto a plate. Just like everybody else.
Ern's like keeping half an eye on the white lady and another half on, okay, I'm just gonna keep eating and act like absolutely nothing has gone wrong.
I need you to give me a deception.
Alright. Deception.
Yeah, who was already failing at maintaining
That's
the
a
composure of a
17.
proper lady. Who's thinking in herself, this would be the least dignified way to die. In a dress.
All right. Seems to be working. Nobody seems to bat an eyelash at you.
Were we at all able to hear how she introduced herself, like what she called herself to the king and queen?
I will tell you there is a lot of talking going on right now, and you're not very close to the high table.
Okay.
I can read lips. Right, Rada can read lips.
Doesn't she have her back to you, though, because the king is facing everybody at the side tables?
I can at least.
You can see that introductions are being made. But I mean, other than saying, you know, my lady a lot, which, you know, they would use for anybody with title.
Not really much to be gleaned.
No.
I think with learning that it was the lady that just walked in, I'll kind of try and sneak a glance just as like as she's at the high table to just kind of see what she looks like, so I at least have a better idea.
Absolutely. That's easy enough. She has the longest, silkiest black hair you've ever seen. She's wearing all white, very pale skin. When she turns to start heading to a table to get food, you can kind of see her face and profile. She's a very beautiful woman. It's hard to tell what color her eyes are, though. They seem to flicker somewhere between red and, like, deep black. But aside from that, she seems rather unassuming. Just another noble woman coming to a noble wedding. Nothing really to suggest she's different. Tooth, you were sent on a mission to go search for cursed items in the Queen's quarters. That's fantastic. All right. Do you know where the Queen's quarters are? I don't know.
We have faith in you, Tooth.
We do. Well, for this we do, yeah.
No, like,
We probably have more faith in Tooth's mission ability to accomplish this mission right now than in our own ability to survive.
so for some godforsaken reason, the bunny seems to know where the Queen's quarters are. So
Of course the bunny would know.
The bunny
Yeah.
away.
Excellent.
The
Huh?
physician took the bunny away.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have the bunny anymore. Oh, did you?
The physician took the bunny out of the hallway because everybody was looking at him like he was a weirdo. Which of course he is, but he's lovable weirdo.
Also, Tong had the bunny.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this idea that a certain set of hallways is probably where they live, but you're not sure which one is which. You're gonna have to figure out whether that's asking if anybody knows or picking every lock in the castle. You're pretty sure you know which wing, but castle wings are quite large.
We could just loot every locked, not allowed in room until he finds one that looks vaguely correct.
The one that's central
Something
said
like
death.
that.
Probably the one that says "Do not enter" on it.
Right.
Police tape on it.
Warning,
If
consumption
it has police
inside.
tape on it, it's your fault, Tooth. It hasn't been invented yet.
It hasn't been invented in the human world. The Atlanteans probably invented it.
Yes. I think Tooth has actually pulled it out of his bag before.
He told
Yes.
police tape. Or crime scene tape.
In concept.
How are you gonna find the queen's room? Search for traps, Pookie. Search for him. Have you tell me rolling?
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so I rolled for just regular map of the castle. No. Then we rolled random for a dividing rock. No. And then the other one. Was a GPS map.
The GPS.
So I know where.
So you're pretty sure you're in the right wing of the castle. You're pretty sure this is where they all live, but it's not just
Yeah.
the king and queen. It's staff and visitors and.
Well, I guess I'm going to I'll say investigate the doors, because technically their door should be slightly fancier than the rest of the door, so you can identify that is royalty's door.
Okay.
That's his thought process.
Can we investigate?
What's he looking for?
Fancy doors, because apparently fancy doors equal royal.
Thinks that if the door is slightly fancier, it probably belongs to the king or queen. So that's what he's looking for. Logical, right?
He's very lucky.
This one's the fanciest door.
Oh.
Just
Oh,
So
again.
once again, that's a damn 15.
Not in my person.
Damn. All these doors are fancy. I must live in all of these rooms.
He actually or is he too short?
You're too short. Keep in mind, we're talking. This is where your door handle is, where your keyhole would be. Who comes up to like here? In case you want to know what I'm telling her. So we got our door handle here. So like the keyhole would be here. Tooth only comes up to like here. Tooth can't look through the keyhole.
Is there a gap under the door?
He's gonna have to pull out his portable stool.
Well, that's true. He does have one of those, doesn't he?
Even if I didn't know that, I wouldn't question it.
There is a gap between the door
Heck.
and the floor, though.
Okay.
This is the
There's a gap
first time
like that,
I'm
and
putting
obviously there's
background
purple.
music during a
At
session.
least not on your side. You don't know what's going on the other side. There might be a rug or something, but as far as you know.
Yeah.
So because I found one that's way too fitting compared to what the
Okay.
rest of us are dealing with.
Perception?
What's the song?
For what Tooth's
Mhm. It's called Local Forecast by Kevin MacLeod.
You don't hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta see if you can see anything from underneath.
Okay. Would you like a hard surface?
No, it's not that. It's I have to. Some of my numbers aren't painted very well, so I had to double check, make sure that I actually rolled the 15, which we did. That is a 1, 2.
There is a lot of stone floor on the other side.
Okay, that's not it.
How did you want to go mountain? Dominic, high or low?
Low. Granted, I should have said hi. I was feeling. No, something just occurred to me.
Random door. Okay. Go to that. Looks like the same door. Mahogany. Hello, guys. What are you doing? You can look for gossiping maids if you want. Heard that. Both my siblings are just. Both my siblings keep burping. So you just walk into this door and you're staring at it?
Lots to do.
You having fun over, Marco?
Yeah, just listening to a song that thoroughly describes the situation compared to everyone else's.
Okay.
This one is 20.
Don't hear any. You gonna look under the gap? 17. So you go to look under there, but before you really get a chance to, you hear somebody behind you go, "What are you doing?
Looking under doors, what are you doing?
Are you looking to see who it is?" Just
Yeah.
you turn around. It's a brownie.
Oh.
And she's looking at you very quizzically. Yeah, that's kind of rude, isn't it? You don't live here. Why are you peeking under doors?
Because I'm trying to find a specific room to look for specific stuff for a specific person.
Are you an assassin? Should I be setting the alarm?
No, I'm not an assassin.
You're a leprechaun. I don't know if I trust you.
All right.
There are some really good stuff that I can give you to share with your friends. If you can help me find the Queen's quarters. We'll proceed to pull out the sugar. This cupcake. This white girl interrupted.
You're gonna drug the brownies?
We're gonna get them off.
Mary looks so...
They're gonna get a jar.
Hear what she said. What did she she pull out? What did Toot pull out of his bag?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Oh.
How does Toot always have sugar when he needs it?
The big crack dealer. What do you expect?
Sorry, I've already forgotten what you said. I have some.
I have something that I can give to you that you can share with your friends if you help me find the queen's quarters.
And then you pull out the sugar.
Yes.
She raises her eyebrows. I don't accept bribes.
It's not a bribe, it's a payment.
Sounds a lot like a bribe. Why do you need to in the queen's quarters?
Because I'm trying to figure out whether or not she died of natural causes.
Oh, you mean the old queen?
Yes.
Why do you need to know if she died of natural causes? You
Here because we believe that someone was trying to kill her and we were asked to let her know that.
You're a little late. She's dead.
We realize that. So now our job is to figure out whether or not she actually died of causes or if it was homicide. Murder. A friend of mine used the word once.
Okay. I need to go.
Okay. Would you like to take something this to go? To try it?
I know what that is. I don't do drugs.
You did. Puts it back in the bag.
Okay.
Hand it to you later.
There's like a moment you blink and then she's just gone. You don't know where she went.
Well, I'm in trouble.
Classic D&D. We go from bad to worse.
Are you gonna-
You gotta keep doing yours till he gets caught.
Okay.
When it matters, Tooth tends to not get caught. But when it doesn't matter, you better believe there's rocks in everyone's shoes.
Yeah, pretty much. Alright, I'm gonna run to the bathroom. Talk amongst yourselves.
Trying to get caught too.
I think what she means is panic amongst yourselves, but okay.
I think her staying here is definitely the worst option that could have happened.
Do you guys have any idea what Tooth could try to find the door?
Okay, I know this will sound kind of weird, but smell will probably be a very big indicator. Like if you can get your nose to like the cracks of the door, either if they use like incense or not to liven up commonly used rooms, or really musty unused rooms.
Or dust. Like if it smells dust, like kind of that dusty smell.
Yeah.
Well, and it has been proven that there is a smell to when people are sick.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That has a smell. Not that. No.
I'm dying?
The just being a little bit sick doesn't always have a smell, but the
But for like
The smell of death
tuberculosis,
is
which is
dangerous.
another word for consumption, or what consumption
Yeah.
would later be known as, would
Mhm.
probably put off a smell, or at least the body's response to that.
Pretty small.
Yeah, especially like chronic, long-standing illnesses. ones that truly decay the body.
So, smelling it is probably going to be a good way to go.
Oh yeah, if you can let
I
it
really
sit,
want to know if
sit
anybody's
and
actually
rest.
talking to the white lady. Like, this is kind of a social event. There's lots of people moving about and talking, but is everybody else just avoiding the white lady?
You mean everybody in our party or the other guests?
The other guest. I was about to suggest we could do something really stupid and for the third time approach someone way more powerful than us under the guise of innocent pretense, but
Oh.
I prefer a day live to see the next day.
Well, Tong is definitely trying to converse with the people that are around, particularly if they're Saxon. Rada is just gonna be like, I did not think that she would stay. This definitely makes things a lot harder for us.
Rita's trying to not draw attention to herself while also trying to help Rana calm down and watch over Tong because that's what she's supposed to be doing.
So does this put a damper on what you are going to do?
Just a little.
I can make it damper if you want.
They are no magic. Alright, not that kind of magic. Not that kind of magic.
Yeah, I don't see how helpful it would be to just have that much water lying around right now.
Aren't you holding your chaos crystal?
Well, that could be fun. Although, I don't think she actually has it on her right now. She is also completely, without gear because she's wearing a dress.
I think
So that 19 of hers is not that right now.
I think we would have insisted that she put it in the room that Erden got.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing an amulet right now. Not only is the necklace not finished, but she doesn't exactly have places to hide things.
She's in a dress.
Yeah, for some
Although
reason
she's
dresses
probably more
don't have
likely to have
pockets.
pockets than most modern day women. But that would be a separate pouch that she probably doesn't actually own, so.
Anything out of the ordinary.
I blame you for knowing that.
But I kind of want to like instead of just like going for every door, so just
I think you would think, not like.
Who's giving
You
credit where
notice
credit is due.
down. Actually, as you get to one door, you're kind of sniffing around, and you just hear this. Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
And
is it
question for you.
It is a guard.
Are other people going and talking to the white lady? It is a social event. Many people are moving around and talking, but do people leave her alone at her table, or do people try and socialize with her?
Socializing with her, and she's socializing back.
What do I roll to like disappear?
Well, you're gonna have to.
Hide.
Yeah,
Which,
you're gonna have to try and hide because I don't think that.
So would that be stealth?
yes.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18 and it's +9.
Wow.
mid-level rogues.
Huh. Oh. What level are you?
Let's see. Level 6.
You can cast the invisibility spell.
Okay.
You do need an eyelash encased in gum.
Hey, I rolled it. No, that's the one.
No, that's the one. You dig through your bag, you're like, crap, I don't have this. So then you just kind of bolt and try to hide. He's a guard, it's not like he's a high level anything. Oh.
This is
No,
one
no.
dedicated guard.
I expected it to be. It's not high enough to see where you went. But you can definitely hear them shouting behind you. Where are you hiding? You need to have a.
I was gonna ask
We
what's
should be
We're talking
intention
like
is to open doors.
castle corridor.
The last door he opened with the White Lady involved unleashed a ghost Roman legion upon
No,
the city of London.
give me a perception. You're booking it pretty fast. You can hear them behind you. You catch out of the corner of your eye this like door kind of tucked away, and you're pretty sure that it's the servant's door. Like the one that takes you to the back hallways that take you through.
Yeah. So I'll go dive in there and hide in a shadowy corner.
Okay. Yeah, they don't quite catch that you've dove into this doorway, so you hear them thunder past, but they don't seem to know where you are. Okay. So you're tucked in your shadowy corner. We're gonna go back to the other group real quick now. So, yes, the White Lady is currently conversing with some of the other ladies that are there. And she's not behaving any different than the other ladies. Not acting important than any of them. The queen didn't seem particularly interested in her when she had been greeted. Of course, the queen does not seem particularly interested in anything right now. Igraine is several tables away, mingling with some folks she seems to know. She does not seem to have noticed the White Lady at all. Of course, she's not going to recognize her, but woman's doing a great job blending in, so even if she did know, she probably wouldn't have noticed.
She's much more worried about the other person who decided to follow us around, if anything. The other god that's following us around.
Anyway.
Are there any other wise women in the banquet hall right now?
Uh,
Are we in the castle?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Great Hall, basically.
I want to know what the walls and the floor are made out of. That's
The floor would probably be stone, while the walls may possibly be wood, since this would be before stone castles, and technically this is even before Mott and Bailey's were a thing.
you gotta think about it from like the Roman architecture standpoint. They're gonna be built Roman style, not medieval.
So stone,
Mm-hmm.
floors and walls.
Huh?
Floors and walls.
So here. Let me. Let's see. They're gonna have. So this picture kind of shows it. So like, most of the floors are gonna be wooden, but the walls and stuff will be stone.
Ah.
Now, this one may be different because Tooth did see stone floors, but if you keep in mind, the last castle that this king lived in burned to the ground because it was mostly made of wood. He has opted to go with something a little more flame resistant.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly more. You don't want happening to him what happened to his parents and
Yeah.
brother.
Even if he may or may not have been involved in that incident.
Dominic, how dare you? How dare you accuse our king like that?
Those allegations have never been proven.
King Hutzinsey's the best king we've had.
Also, don't say, this should be more fireproof than usual next to a wizard.
Or, the lady who started the whole thing.
Well, yeah,
And probably doesn't care that much about how flammable the materials are.
he's going to build this great wall, and he's going to make the Picts pay for it.
Fun with that. That's all I'm gonna say. Fun with that, you dimwit.
I know somebody else who had a plan like that.
Sorry, I just had really funny ideas for medieval sprinkler system, just like random buckets of water. Like if like
That's
bees
just
or
to do
something like
with
that
stats
with
for-
float
oh, you're
that'd
right.
be full and
Tell yourself better.
I developed
I
a
wrote 15 all day too for my students. Okay.
Uh,
We're asking for wise women. Is Rada looking for them or Tong?
Tong. She would be more familiar.
I was gonna say, because does Rada know what a wise woman looks like?
No.
Okay. So Tong will notice a handful of them. They're kind of keeping to themselves. There's maybe like 3 or 4. They don't seem too bothered with anybody else.
As expected.
And they're not too far from the queen's side of the table. Like, they're at a table close.
thinking about going over there, but by going over there, I know that Brina and Rada are going to follow.
Who else might show up? Duh. That is accurate.
I don't think Emrys or Emrar can show up. Emrys was told to stay. Emrys isn't allowed to reveal himself to the White Lady of all people.
What were Erden's musician obligations after the wedding event? Or was that money
He
just like
he didn't have any obligations. After the wedding, he was literally just scheduled for the main event.
okay ceremony and that's it?
Yep.
Alright, you had your food, get out.
Basically.
Get out.
Go back to where you belong, peasant.
This is where Erden can point. I was like, but my dad's the tailor. Can't just stay.
He doesn't look like...
I know.
Erden
I know.
is, glamoured up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of impressive that everyone's noticed him to be Saxon since they went for a Celto-Romano, Roman look.
It is the music choice, man. But Celto Romano is gonna know Saxon music.
Not many.
Nope.
Actually, yeah, that's probably what the official said when he came back to the castle. It's like, yeah, I found this guy, because Celto Romano, he wasn't playing anything like that, though. He was playing purely Saxon. It was quite odd, but I'm kind of glad we found him, because we desperately needed more of those.
Well, the person with the idea of what he wants to do is not doing anything, so Tong's going to go up and converse with the wise women.
Okay.
Brina follows.
Huh?
Brina
Brina?
follows because I'm supposed to basically be attached to Tom. And so it's like, I mean, I look out of place otherwise. I look out of place already, but at least when I'm with her, I look a modicum less out of place.
As you approach the table, one of them catches sight of you approaching, kind of raises her eyebrows, and the other one stop talking and just stare at you.
And in Saxon, Guten Abend, good evening. It pleases me to see women that are... how would you say this? Women of respect, let's just say. Or women of authority here.
I'm sorry. I've got a really bad connection right now, and you cut out in the first little part.
Yeah, so
all I heard was women of respect.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like how to word it. I'm so glad to in Saxon. Right? Good evening. Is good to see some women of respect or authority here.
The oldest looking one just kind of raises her eyebrows, like, quizzically. They don't say anything. They're just kind of like giving you the like, okay, why are you here? Look.
Ah, yes. I have not seen many wise women here, but must confess that I am something of a wise woman myself, and wish to merely Learn more about how Saxon wise women perform their arts.
Diplomacy.
Tong's about to be the first person kicked out of the party.
Writing languages so I understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Just as a heads up.
Okay, cool.
Diplomacy. That is a rather complicated topic.
Whatever the charisma equivalent is, I can't
You're
remember.
supposed to be rolling.
You're
You're supposed to be rolling for diplomacy.
Although I think it's persuade, 5th edition.
Yeah, persuasion. Yes, that's what it is.
It is called diplomacy in 4th, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I keep going back to 3.5.
That's not terrible.
That's-
Alright, so persuasion for Tong. That's a 10.
It's not terrible sufficient for wise and powerful wise women.
Why do I get the feeling that we just approached the cool clique in the school cafeteria and we are like the nerdiest people in the world? We're about to get shut down by the ice queen of the cheerleaders or something. That's what this makes me think of. Like that stereotypical high school idea.
I see it.
Possibly. Depends on what our role is. What'd you get, Tong?
10. Like I said, not terrible, especially considering Tong has 0 modifiers.
I get bardic inspiration.
Oh, Bardic. So what is that? Is that a D4 or D6?
D6.
Woo! That was max, so 16.
Welcome. Damn useful.
So the oldest one raises her eyebrows really high. Goes, "If you were really wise, you would never have walked over here." And turns her back on you. Sorry, they have modifiers and they rolled a 17. She really did not want to talk to Tom.
Wisdom is not everything. I am foreign, so of course I do not know everything. And if I must be honest, I find the Saxons much more tolerable than the Celts or the Romans.
Is this a truth thing, or is she trying to win them over?
Tong is being truthful. Alright, when she says that she likes Saxons more than the Celts or the Romans, at least when she's referring to Romans in this case, she's referring to the current Romans.
The woman turns back a little bit. She doesn't turn all the way back. I don't particularly care who you like more than others. I have a job. We all do. And we are trying to do that
And
job.
may I know what that
We are not
job
here to
is so that
socialize.
may I
Good
know what
day.
that job is so that I do not interfere?
You know what a Saxon wise woman is.
Well, since we're conversing in Saxon, there's not really much fear of the the Christians discovering.
Uh-huh.
Practitioners of magic.
Is that all?
Magic curses, advisors, I would give a demonstration of my own abilities, except, well, we all know how that would go down.
By the way, Brina's just kind of like, she's a little bit ping-ponging back and forth watching the conversation, but like I have a feeling like she has her hands like in front of her, kind of in the big sleeves, kind of an idea, and just kind of like watching back and forth.
And Tong's
being
not trying
quiet.
Tong's not trying to insinuate that she's going to like start a conflict. She's more saying like, if I perform magic out in the open, the Christian guards are going to notice.
Well, yeah, she's picking up on what you're saying. It's more than just practitioners of magic and all of that. Our number one job is protectors of our culture and our people. We are the Queen's Guard. And that includes from her husband if necessary.
Considering where you are, that is, pun not intended, wise.
You think we need to be next to her to protect her?
Oh, of course.
Trust
not.
me. She's protected.
Protected from outside sources, perhaps. But, who knows what the individual does or wants.
What are you insinuating?
Forget the
Remember, suicide's frowned upon in their culture. To accuse the queen of even contemplating that is a huge insult. Sorry, that is slightly out of character.
I was just thinking, man, if Erden could hear this conversation, he'd be going,
It's like everything is going wrong. How did this start? How did you trip and now you're just falling down the stairs?
No, this is where he would physically like put hands on Tong and try and move her, apologizing. It's like, apologies, lady, but she's obviously not quite aware of our customs.
drink too many glasses.
Yeah, Rada is going to realize what is going on. She can't understand what's being said, but she's going to firmly put her hand on on Tong's shoulder. Say in Persian, "You're obviously angering them. Let us leave." Tong will look at Rada with a side glare before sighing and say, "Very well," and will leave.
I'll just do kind of like a little bow and give a smile of awkwardness, with awkward little smiles, like, fine. Because I'm just hoping that they don't realize that I did actually know what they were talking about, but at the same time, I don't think it really matters.
I mean, you get just kind of a glare before they turn around and start muttering between themselves in Saxon.
Keep an eye on
because
that.
I understand what they're muttering.
Huh?
My question.
Because she has comprehend languages up, she wants to know if she understands what they're muttering.
I mean, it's just kind of like, what an insulting hag, and, you know, things like that. Like, how dare she imply what I think she was implying, and, you know, how dare she think she could come and talk to us? You know, just the kind of muttering you get when you've been ticked off.
I'll rush off after Rada and Tong and make sure not to mention anything that I just overheard.
Rada is going to slow down a bit and just be like, Brina, remember the letter? How it said she would be less tolerant of nobles? Think let's keep her away from everyone else till she calms down.
Okay.
It's not gonna have to start a riot. Tom will do it.
Somehow that makes me more nervous.
So we've got 2 people in the riot camp. That's good to know.
Adea right now is just very awkwardly trying to look prim and proper and contemplating all that has come to pass at this moment.
I imagine throughout the
She kind of
party,
glances
people
around and looks at her surroundings.
have people been greeting the king and queen, basically like personally coming up to them saying, "Hi, I'm here," showing you honor by and fealty to by bowing to you
Sorry,
and
hold
everything.
on.
Have they been doing that?
Sorry, what was that?
Have people been coming up to the king and queen and basically like been introducing themselves, like having
Yeah.
a word or
It's
two
been
with
pretty
them?
much a near constant stream, and it's probably less introductions. It looks like it's probably more like congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a receiving line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in this receiving line, has there been any order to it? Like obviously bigger people first, or has it just been a mishmash?
All that there is the identify spell. Okay, what was that?
Has there been like a sort of order to it, like more important people first, or is it just
No,
free
it's
fall?
just kind of how when people want to go up and congratulate.
Hmm. I guess everyone will get in line for that.
Before they, I was gonna say some came in and did it before they ate. Some wanted to eat and then go do it. I don't know.
Yeah, everyone will just kind of like actually will get in line with his instrument, like, yeah, I'm the instrument person. I hope they enjoyed my playing during their ceremony, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah. I mean, there's only like 1 or 2 people in front of you, so it doesn't take very long before you're up there greeting them. And the queen um briefly acknowledges you, you know. You're the musician.
I am Green Marina. Yeah, like Ern will first like come up, do like and kind of like bow to say, Vortigern, newly Queen Marina, has been honored to play for your ceremony today.
You did a very good job. I don't know you, do I?
It's the Vortigern asking this, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like, I don't believe we have met before, my king. I would be really honored to have met you twice, however.
I am gonna need a deception, just to make sure.
Yeah, Ern's desperately trying to keep up this nervous peasant act of, oh well, Ern's really doing good tonight. Okay, that's a 24.
That's a good act. The triple threat right there.
Um
I'm dancing at.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna leave the camera off. My connection is just being weird, and the camera just pulls power from it. So, okay,
Mhm.
try that again.
That's a total of 24 for deception.
24. Kind of narrows his eyes, but then he kind of shrugged and he's like, "Very well then. I may need you for the ceremonies. You local?"
I'm generally a traveler, though I could certainly be convinced to stick around.
What was your name?
Uh, Finn, my lord.
Finn. Interesting name. Well, Finn, don't be a stranger. Wink.
Certainly. There's any other times you would like me to play? And like Ern will try and like look specifically at Rowena while he says this. I am only a summons away. And he'll bow again and walk off.
Constance doesn't seem to notice that you're not talking directly to him. He's just like, excellent, and leans back as you like bow and walk off.
Mm. Did Rowena notice?
Yes. Really doesn't notice. She at least made eye contact with you. She did not acknowledge in any way, shape, or form. Just made eye contact.
Okay.
And when Finn returns to the table, Adea will kind of look at him and be like, "Are they gonna expect me to do that at some point?"
I mean, you're not necessarily around here a lot, so I mean, you could get away with it, but then you'd have to come up with a backstory and everything, so you could probably get away with not introducing yourself.
That could get complicated.
Why do I see a green swooping down and bring you?
I mean, you were brought in with Igraine, right? So she would have to bring you along when she does that for you to do it. So
Well, at least I have a chance if that's the case.
Because you have the high passive. Two things. First thing, as you're kind of like trying to calm Tong down and you know de-escalate that situation, you'll realize that that woman with the red hair gone. You have not seen her for several moments. In fact, you have not seen her since the white lady walked in. She's gone.
That's uncomfortable.
Two, as you're going away, you see some guards walk up to the ones that are outside the doorway that comes into this big feast hall and start talking to each other. And it's faint, but you make out there is an intruder in the royal wing, but I lost him. To which the other guard is like, "What do you mean you lost him?"
In Greek,
And I think we're saying that Tahir's not here right now.
in Greek, Roddy's just gonna be like, by the god's tooth.
Replying in Greek, Adea will be, "There's not that many gods to swear by at this point, if I understand correctly."
Shut up, Idea.
and like Ern will probably look over, just like, okay, did something happen?
Tooth was
God, it was
discovered.
cursed God with the tooth.
I understand.
You don't know.
I didn't say leprechaun, you just said intruder.
It is very likely that Tooth was discovered. Doesn't sound like he was caught, but someone was found snooping around the royal wedding.
What language are you saying all this in?
Whatever.
Well, the cursing wasn't in Greek, and the telling Idea to shut up was also in Greek.
Oh, yes.
If the others are asking, then it would be in Fey.
Erden, you'll hear the faintest voice, and you'll recognize it as Igraine's. She's using her, just a little bit of magic to kind of be like, "What's with the face palm? What happened?"
The leprechaun was discovered. Like Ern will like half whisper it in his hand basically.
You'll kind of catch out of the corner of your eye, like you can see Igraine's just doing the here. I gotta kind of give you the facial expression. It's kind of you can see her. She's like talking, and you can just see her. Like, why was the leprechaun here? What is? But obviously, she doesn't say anything else. She just makes that face and keeps on her conversation, and then she eventually just goes, "Well, find him before we all get caught."
And actually, upon hearing that, Ern won't respond to Igraine, but actually turn to Rada and say, "So I'm gonna do something that shouldn't get me caught. Should I go out and check on him or no?"
Quick question. That assistant that we saw earlier that we really pissed off by giving Tooth's name out, is he here?
The chair did enough? Yes. He's here.
Mm-hmm.
He is here.
His tooth was dodging him. And you've been dodging him too.
How likely are you not
What's the
to get
directive?
caught?
The helmet gives invisibility for an hour.
We could tell the two off a day or not.
Go
He could
find
go find
him.
Tooth before he gets caught.
Okay.
But just note, this night, and I don't say this lightly, it's going to shite.
Yeah, I noticed. Idea, don't tell him. Do you want to tear apart this entire dance floor, the hallways going to it, and who knows what else?
It is a backup plan.
That's exactly what would start a riot. No.
I thought a 5-foot block of stone might look good right there. Or in front of that doorway, I don't know.
Like, Ern will put on his helmet, activate the invisibility, and then leave the room. Like, try and like duck down under the table. Like, okay, nobody's gonna see me do this.
Dea will look down a little bit and just up and scowl before she goes back to trying to behave herself.
Those would be nice, but when people don't expect them to be there, they might trip, and that wouldn't be very good. Plus, no telling the Closet did and none about too. We don't want to start a riot. That will start a big, big, big riot. You saw how angry he was at mine.
Okay. Now Ernest got to figure out where to go. So,
Well, assuming they use any form of logic when it comes to at least regional design stuff, he should at least have an idea thanks to Uther.
yeah.
Would that count as like knowledge local or something?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a knowledge local.
I can never remember what the score for that check is since it's not inherent to this edition.
It's like an intelligence check, but it's like with proficiency or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
like it's either intelligence or wisdom.
It's intelligence. Because it's basically knowledge based.
Total of 14.
14. So there were a few times where Magnus would like describe the castle, but most of the descriptions were how do I get out of class without the teacher noticing, and not so much of where's my bedroom. So if this castle is still built relatively the same as the old one, you know that the classes were all up on the second floor. But outside of that, you're not entirely sure how the rest of the setup would be.
I guess I'm just randomly checking the hallways of the second floor then.
Okay. You'll see guards kind of rushing about. A couple of them questioning servants. And all of this. And it's kind of funny because they're like, have you seen a child? And they're like, a child? They're like, yes. It's like yay tall, red hair. I'm pretty sure it's a child. It wasn't very tall. And the servants are just like, there are no children in this building. Like, what are you talking about?
Actually, like, probably like the second or third time Gordon passes by somebody, like a guard asking this, he'll actually like crouch down and actually say, boo,
Is that
and then like
illegal?
quickly move off.
Someday it's like the illegal adult in society. That's been for a couple of
Dang. They don't really seem to startle all that much. Just pause and kind of look around. Was that me? What? Never mind. Yeah. Silly things like that. What is your passive perception?
14.
14.
Virgin is not wise.
You're pretty sure you heard some footprints? Like small footprints, but when you turned around to look, there was nothing there. And this has happened a couple of times, and it's starting to make you think that you're going crazy. Because, like, I swear I keep hearing footprints.
Steps.
Steps, not
Steps, yes.
footprints.
I know what I mean. You know what I mean. Everyone knows what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Like, Irwin will, like, stop and, like, constantly, as he's constantly hearing this in the background or behind him, he'll kind of, like, stop a little bit and, like, okay. Wait a minute. No, they're friendly around here. They are friendly around here. And, like, Irwin try and, like, go back to where he heard it before and be like, are there any brownies around here? Hello?
I'm gonna need a persuasion.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a 7.
Nobody answers. To be fair, I'm not sure I'd answer a disembodied voice either.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Aaron, like, just turns around and tries to basically go process of elimination, but also actually trying to, like, see if there's any gathering of guards in any particular hallway to try and narrow down where he needs to search.
You're really wandering around for about 20 minutes before you do see a group of guards, and some of them look like they're kind of sniggering, and there's this one, he's going, I swear, it was a small person with red here, and I swear to the gods he had a beard. And the other one of them goes, oh yeah, but he was like 2 feet tall. Right. How much ale have you had today, Robert? None.
At
I
least it
haven't
didn't.
had any. Swear, he was peeking under doors. He was looking in the king's bedroom.
Or so, like, Ern will try and like make his way around to like behind the guards and then like ask, oh yeah, actually, like, as he's about to answer like which door, and actually asks, so why don't you just lead us to this door where this bearded child is?
Like, they all roll with it, and then they stop, and they're like, wait. There's just this pause, and you can see them all looking at each other. Oh god, how much ale have I had?
Nope.
I'm telling you, weird stuff is going on, guys. I swear I saw him come over here. And he heads down the hallway a bit, and then he kind of pauses, and he goes, and it was here somewhere. He just disappeared. One of them goes, Robert, there's a servant's door right here, you dumbass. Gee, maybe you saw a servant. Wasn't a servant. Oh, for heaven's sake. And they, like, opens the door, peeks his head in. Well, whoever was here is gone now. Jeez. You're wasting our time, man. They all start kind of dispersing, and this guy's like, I'm telling you, there was a 2-foot tall bearded man here, poking around. Yeah? And I'm Jesus Christ.
Actually, at that point, like, Erden, like, has been, like, following them, like, maybe 1 or 2 doors back, and then he, like, tries to, like, throw his voice a little bit, and, like, try and make his voice a little deeper, and, like, blasphemy.
Give me a perform. Let's see if you can do this.
Okay. I love having plus
Hold
8
on.
to my performance.
You're inner part.
Total of 24.
Oh, yeah. Just like, I'm getting the hell out of here, man. You're gonna get struck down. Just like, someone will just start booking it out. Done. One's like crossing himself. What were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, here. He's gonna go, like, check the corridor. Just to make sure it was good.
You haven't moved. So, you go to check the coast is clear. You don't see anybody there.
I will say too, I did roll a 4. So he did find that dogs can get out of an eyebrow on their ceiling.
Are you invisible now? Okay, great.
Yes.
So Tooth finally managed to find what he needs to make himself invisible. So Erden, you hear that servant's door open, but nothing comes out. Like, you hear it open, you hear it close.
I imagine, like, Erden was, like, 1 door down, like, alright, let's get this door open. Oh. Tooth.
Tooth, are you being quiet?
He's trying to be quiet.
Okay, give me a stealth. I need a permission from you, Erden.
Go to Joan for this.
What am I thinking?
Stealth.
Makes you feel any better, your perception's only 1 less than Adea, who has a perfect 20 in wisdom.
What was that, Erden?
That's a 6.
Yeah. You don't hear anything. Tooth is just gliding right past you.
Like, Erden
were you
sees
gonna-
the door open and
Were you gonna say his
close.
name?
Yeah, and I just says, Tooth, is that you?
Is that you two? Make sure you two can interact.
Tooth's going to pause. Heard it?
Are you invisible?
Are you invisible?
I feel like you're trying to dodge the question.
Okay, I need to get to a door. I want to go back. He will dispel.
Your hair is so red right now. Just right here.
So he'll dispel his spell so that Irving can see him. I need to reach the lock, but I'm too short.
Alright, I'm gonna pick you up. It doesn't dispel the invisibility, by the way. He just picks him up by the back of the shirt and lifts him up to the lock. Ta-da.
Now there's a tiny
Okay.
red-haired bearded man floating in the air.
This door must be
Tooth's
important.
invisible.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
So-
both invisible.
No,
So,
Tooth dispelled the invisibility so that Erden could see him.
Pick lock pick.
Usually? Yes.
Okay. That is 16. It is 13. 23.
It takes you a little bit, but you hear a click. And then you're gonna look at the door open.
And just like that, the Roman legions were unleashed upon Londinia.
Again.
Not again!
Don't worry, I'm checking for traps.
Check for traps, Pookie.
Okay, would that one be? That would be.
I'm sure that's a reference, but I do not know what it is.
The dirty 20. This is not a woman's room. That's for sure. It's clean, but there's like a table in there with a high chair that's probably like a desk. There's a big 4-poster bed in there. There's a wardrobe. There's a tub off to one corner. But it smells very musky in here. Very male.
I think this is the king's room.
Yeah, this looks like it. Yep.
So now we just figure out which side to be on. I don't know much about royalty in bedrooms. You?
I mean, I know a few things. I think one of them is you gotta keep the sanctity of the woman intact as much as possible. So I'd imagine we would have to go in some form of opposite direction from here.
We can either go down the hallway where we came from, in Sir's border, or we can go down the way we came up from the bollard.
Actually, Erden goes out of the king's room and actually checks the servant's door. Is it labeled? Like, at all?
They'll have bells that are labeled for when like they're rung. The servants know which room is being rung.
Yeah.
Not at this
They
time.
won't have like a map or anything.
No.
Hmm.
Bells wouldn't have been something that a castle at this time period would have, though.
No.
That's more like a fancy Victorian house, like Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
But they would have, I want to say, similar-ish system of sorts, but they wouldn't have like a map or anything because it's pretty much the senior staff teaches the newer staff where everything is. You're supposed to memorize it.
Yeah.
There might not be a bell system. They might just periodically check in because it's their job.
Yeah.
I will say in this time period, you're gonna have somebody specifically assigned as
Disciplinary.
maidservant and the manservant, and they do everything for them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they essentially
Bells and
do have the
bells.
bell to ring so that if the servant's waiting outdoors, they ring the bell and the servant knows to come in because their master needs something.
No bells. No bells. But not having a map makes sense
Well,
too.
Let's close this door, not lock it, in case something interesting is still in there at one point, and let's try and find the previous queen's room.
Is Tooth back to being invisible now? Because you had dropped it so that Erden could see you. Did you put it back up? Because otherwise I just see Tooth like floating in the air to reach that lock.
Basically.
So you're heading where now?
Away.
Probably deeper into the hallway.
Yeah.
So there's like 3 more doors on each side before you get to the end of the hallway.
As there, I guess, a perception check I can do to see if there's something different about one of them?
Certainly can. Give me a perception.
I did not know you could spend d20s. And now it stopped. Okay. It was like sitting on this like one point for so long.
One of the more spinnable dice, I think.
It's a total of 15.
I mean, damn, these doors all look the same. The walls all look the same. There's some cool tapestries. But there's not
Absolutely.
really anything distinguishing.
We could do an Arcana check. I don't know what that would do. It does very little with magic.
No, she wasn't Saxon, which means she wouldn't have had magical protection, which means the likelihood of finding any is rather low. Well, guess and check.
Are you pulling him out then? Are you okay? You just kind of hear this. What's going on? Where are we? I fell asleep. The chatting was getting very boring.
We're just in the castle, royal wing. Pretty sure.
Odin, are we wandering in places we're not supposed to be?
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you not curious why the previous queen died?
Of course I'm curious. Why haven't you asked for directions?
Because I'm invisible.
Oh, Erden, I know you think you're invisible because you're low man on the totem pole, but you can talk to people. It's okay. Promise.
No, literally. Like, Ern will, like, tap the helmet, like, this makes me invisible. Nobody can see me.
Oh. Well, see, everybody's invisible to me. I can't really see. I have no eyeballs.
That's true. I always thought you could see.
That's the fact that he has no.
I don't know. Do you know where the previous queen's bed would likely be?
Yes, I spent a lot of time finding out where queens live. It was one of my favorite pastimes.
So you don't even know, and do I even know a general location?
I would assume that it's adjacent to the king's room. Usually they have adjoining rooms. At least that's what Magnus said. Don't you listen to your friends talk?
Yes, I do. Actually. Just that he would mostly complain about his lessons rather than, you know, the layout of a building. And besides, the building burned down. It's not like all of the exit plans he made would count now.
Fair. Do you know where the king's room is?
Yeah, we just found it.
Well, I suggest you look for the door in the room that leads to an adjacent room. That's probably the queen's. Now, whether it's been replaced with all of the old queen stuff, with the new queen stuff, I don't know.
Actually, I've heard that it shouldn't have.
Hmm.
Which, again,
There's your
feels
answer.
weird.
I
Hey, dude,
mean,
there might be a door in the king's room. Let's go. Aaron, like, walk back into the king's room and see if there's a door there.
give me an investigate.
This is the wrong character for this. Okay, that actually went pretty good. Yeah, let's see. Okay, yeah. Total of 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
They need to find a place for you to keep those so they're easier to get to. As we walk in the room, oh boy, there's 2 doors. One on each side of the room. Don't know how you missed them before.
Yes, that is rather strange, isn't it? That in the initial description of the room, 2 doors weren't included.
You weren't looking for doors.
That's true. So which one looks newer?
Attitude, of course.
Like, which one is still shining from the
One doesn't look
staining?
newer than the other. I mean, it's still
Which one of
mean-
them do I trigger a trap when you open it?
Yeah.
I mean, neither one of them looks any shinier than the other one. It looks like they were probably made at the same time. I mean, this castle is still fairly new.
Mm.
Which one's
I
it
don't know.
called?
Is one of them, Ern will go to the right side of the room and see if it's locked.
Nope.
So it opens the door.
It's a bedroom. Looks untouched. It's
Any
I mean,
dust in
beds
there?
made. There's a little bit.
All right. Ern will go to the other door and see if it's locked.
Nope.
Anything different about the room beyond?
Almost looks identical to the other room. Fine layer, dust, bed made, vanity in order.
Are there any other doors connecting to that room?
Yeah, there's one at the sort of towards the back of the room.
Is that where the hallway outside leads up to, or?
No, it's not on the same side of the.
I don't know, or like just look around, see if there's anything unique in the drawers or anything left behind.
Okay, give me an investigate.
6.
Let's say she's gonna do an Arcana tip on the room. Thinking that he rolled 12.
You guys are doing great.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, there's dresses in the wardrobe, there's shoes in a trunk at the foot of the bed. There's makeup, brushes, that kind of thing on the vanity. And some blank parchment paper and a quill. Nothing seems to be screaming magic.
All right. Ern, if there's nothing there, then Ern will go back to the previous room he checked and do another investigation.
Okay. So are you going to the king's room or are you going to the other
queen's room?
The other queen's room. Okay. Alright.
That's a 9.
That's okay. I rolled a 22.
Yay! One of us can do this.
There's nothing magical in this room.
Although, I'm sorry, this one was an investigation.
Oh, this is an investigation?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's just decided, no, magic's not my thing. We'll just go. We snoop.
Yeah. So you're finding much the same in this room. The makeup, the brushes, the dresses, the shoes, the jewelry. I didn't mention jewelry before, but there's jewelry.
Same door in the back.
Huh? Yeah, same door in the back. Tooth even goes as far as to open that door this time, and it looks like it leads to the servants' hallway. So likely when one of these rooms is not in use, the servants just come through that way. But there doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary. But Tooth, you go under the bed, and you find a little square piece of cloth under there. You go to pull it out, and it's covered in blood. Delightful.
I'm not sure. Words you say.
We can't hear Megan.
Oh, sorry. He says he found something and we'll show the bloody rag to Erden.
Ah, a clue.
Thank you, Velma.
What did you find?
Bloody rag. Apparently the previous queen died of something called consumption.
Oh, yes. It means that there was blood in the lungs. So if you have a bloody rag, it's likely she coughed up blood onto it. Delightful. Ugh.
Not the worst thing that I have found blood on, but okay.
You know, if he had just been friends with the druids, we could have saved her. Easily curable.
Let's go out on this.
I just-
Candid.
Tyson, is there something in my herbalism kit that might be able to tell whether or not it was consumption or something else?
Mm. Uh, any contagion that would have been on there is going to be long gone. We'll need somebody who can basically, like Emrys, to turn the clock back and see where the blood came from.
Oh, he's gonna love that idea.
So, as they're talking about this, I pull a smaller bag out of my bag to put the wood cloth in.
Okay.
And for some bizarre reason, it says evidence on it.
Actually, Erden pulled a. Actually, hold out. He'll hold out his hand and be like, I can take that and put it with my other blood samples in my herbalism kit.
Dare I even ask?
There was a murder.
That was a murder.
There was homicide.
Birds were eating
Mine's
body.
Lyle was telling me that he had been on his way to church and he had been running a little late. And so when he got there, everyone's like, "Yo, how's your day going?" He goes, "Yeah, it's not too bad. I was running a little late for church today because I saw an attempted murder." And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, are they okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, it was just two crows." Like, Lyle, sometimes I wonder why people even bother to talk to you.
He knows that if he keeps it up, there will eventually be one person who is willing to deal with him.
Yeah, the paleo field crew.
Eric, his jokes are just as bad.
Oh gosh.
Very.
All right, got some evidence. No.
I don't know. Turn will actually go back into the king's room and be like, well, I wonder if there's something in here that we can mess with.
Of course.
You're going to
Erden.
cause a repeat of the ghost attack of Londinium.
Everything 1 inch to the left.
Anyone see a cabinet that looked like the one in the last tent?
If so, don't
Only
touch it.
Tooth would recognize the cabinet.
Yeah, only
And Tooth
Tooth
still
would
doesn't
know
know that he
that.
found it.
Yeah, Ern's looking through the room like, okay, what in this writing desk does he have that I could use?
They're just asking to get caught at this point.
Visibility.
On this side,
Too much confidence.
substances.
No. Everything in this drawer is going in this drawer, and everything in that drawer is going in this drawer.
We're not taking anything. We're just moving around. I think something's missing.
Is there anything like particularly important looking in here?
High or low?
Low.
Are there any shoes in here?
There's actually what looks like a half-written letter in there.
Ooh, what language?
Is in Latin.
Tooth, do you know Latin?
I don't think
We
so.
don't have the Latin speakers.
Yeah, I don't.
think most of the rest of the party does speak Latin, but not
I will say that you do at least
these two
recognize
agree.
the recipient's name. It is going to um it is going to Magnus Maximus, who is Severa's father.
Can I do the pencil thing?
No, because they don't have graphite. They use quill and ink.
I know that they do that doesn't. But I'm
The
just
graphite thing uses depressions.
for him too.
I mean, maybe. You have to have the tools, though, to find out. Would Tooth even know this is a thing? Considering that most people in this day and age don't use graphite.
Did Tooth notice Ern's pencil?
Well, I don't know.
Erden probably
if
doesn't even know
Tooth
he
would
can
know
do this.
how to do this because, yeah, probably not. I don't think it's likely that Tooth would know. Sorry. Yes, it would be fun.
Our ability to write in general is in question, much less our ability to copy somebody else's writing.
Ern knows 4 languages. He should know a few things about writing.
You know what's really sad is that your eyeless drum can totally read Latin.
So can he see or can he not see? I feel like we actually need to settle this at this point so we can figure out what I can actually know to
there have
ask
been
him.
instances where it seems like he can see, but there is also been say that he can't see because he doesn't have eyes.
Ability, so he might be able to pretend to have a head.
Actually, yeah, no. Actually, Ern will lay Tellius on the letter and be like, "Can you read this?"
He has read a letter before. Well, not a letter, but he did read the wish scroll.
Arden, do you know how much magic I have to do in order to see now? Goodness.
When was the last time you did magic?
I mean, might be a few hours ago.
Is it a particularly powerful spell?
He does it nightly. I mean, he uses magic nightly because of Tong.
Ern doesn't know that.
I mean, depends who you ask. If I were, a beginner level druid, yeah, this would be exhausting, but let's see. Well, looks like somebody was pretending to write a letter to Severa's father, telling him what happened and then just never sent it off. Never even finished it. Rude.
Very.
Not being able.
Already getting married, he hasn't even told the father of his last bride that she's dead. Though I suppose if he did say something, Magnus Maximus might actually come up here and just kick his ass, so.
Oh, that means we can't send the letter?
I mean, I suppose you could if you wanted to.
No, I'll wait until
Yeah.
Emrys gets a vision of it, and then I'll send the letter. Besides, you'll find out eventually.
Okay. You should probably head back to the others.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask. So, how long has Ern been searching these rooms?
Oh, your hour is basically up.
Great.
Alan's gonna have to do actual sneaking. Oh no.
I spelled out.
Well,
However long the invisibility spell lasts.
Lasts for an hour.
Invisibility spell does?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, yours is done too then.
But nice thing about spell components.
Oh, yeah.
Unless it
Up
says
to
that
it.
a thing is consumed, you still have the material components.
You still have the spell components because they're not consumed.
Excellent.
However, you can only cast it so many times too. Keep that in mind.
Oh, I know.
Alright. You've probably exhausted your limit actually because you're not a spellcaster, so you only have so many spell slots.
Yes. However, I was going to cast. I was going to have Erden cast the spell itself, and I was.
If he has one, does he have a spell though?
So, just
Okay.
to, I'd like a quick GM just ruling on this. So, Erden's Helm can either basically do its own version of Glamour or an invisibility cast, which lasts for an hour. Erden also has the Pearl of Power, which I think can restore second or third level spell slots. And invisibility is a second level slot. So can Erden use that to recast the spell?
Cast a
Since
recharge.
he's not using the internal power of the helmet, but rather an external power source, he's just using it as a channel for the effect.
I'll allow it.
Right. Yay!
I got Pearl Power. Probably a good use of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Erden won't realize. Erden will wait until after he realizes he's now visible. So, well, I don't know. Do you see anything else interesting, Tooth, or should we get out of here?
A lot of shoes in there.
Excellent. All the shoes now have a rack in them. The left of the shoe. All right, we're good. We can go now.
But only the left ones.
The left.
Alright.
Aaron like closes all the doors, make sure it doesn't look like anything happened, and
Tooth will relock the door.
Okay.
Well, we're still in here. I haven't gotten a message yet that anything's gone wrong.
Should we make things go wrong?
Meanwhile.
Well, they should have a war room around here, right? This is the castle. Do you want to go over there and mess with their troop routings?
Alright.
Let's do it!
And Ern looks for.
I'll
Tries-
just let you do the I'm
it's-
gonna go to the others. You guys, it's been gone a long time.
Yeah, it's been what, an hour? So yeah, a lot of things have happened.
Oh, where'd Arthur go? Oof. Okay, so what are Idea and Brina doing right now?
Adea has been growing more and more exasperated about trying to keep up pretenses as she gets to do absolutely nothing.
I mean, she is free to do whatever she wants.
It's true.
It's unlimited wine.
But if she actually allows herself to do whatever she wants. She's going to get herself in a lot of trouble, and she's trying very hard for a grain's sake to keep up appearances. But she's kind of getting to that, like...
One can
Fair
only
enough.
internally play the Jeopardy theme song for so many times.
Totally driven.
So we're back in the hall with you guys there.
Alright.
Erden and Tooth have decided to continue their shenanigans. They have used the Pearl of Power to power the helmet for another invisibility, because it's been an hour.
Actually, Ern's
Oh.
not even going to use it when he realizes he's visible. He's going to wait until someone sees
For an
him.
hour, so
Wait till someone sees him, then he pops it.
Oh,
you do
great.
notice the guards come back, Rada.
Alright. So first off, unless people come to speak with her, Tong is not going to speak with anyone.
Fair enough.
And Reno will probably stick by her because of appearances and the letter, which also allows me to be able to. I'll be back.
Medea is growing more and more exasperated as she sits here and tries to behave herself and look prim and proper, but she's kind of getting to that moment of just... Like, if you... She's still trying to look proper, so she can't, but if she could, she'd probably be, like, totally, like, face down on the table with her hair over the top of her, because she's just so, like, fun. But she can't, so she's kind of still a little bit down, but she's still trying to kind of look proper and hide that she's very frustrated and doesn't get to do anything. Not that she, as Jim pointed out, she could do something, but she knows that she shouldn't because she will get herself in trouble. And for Grain's sake, she is trying very hard not to, even if she is reaching her limit.
Alright, so an hour has passed and the boys are still not back.
Correct.
Have I noticed any other commotion amongst the guards?
I mean, there's a lot of whispered arguing as they come back, and then they kind of split their separate ways. And the one who had initially come is put in charge of the doorway now, and he looks just so frustrated. And every time the other guard on the other side of the door catches his eye, he starts to snigger. Which just makes the other guy all the more angry.
Alright, so basically what I want to do is roll an insight check, just to get an idea of what's going on. Because, natural 20. And with Rada's insight,
First and probably last one of the session.
that's
They are
28.
definitely the one guard is definitely making fun of the other guard. Like occasionally you can hear bearded child, what a freak. Like I can't believe
So am I basically getting a sense that that guard is the one that reported the intruder, but everyone is now making fun of him for it?
Yeah, because like you're kind of gathering. I mean, if you saw Tooth and didn't know that leprechauns existed, it would be a little weird to see this 2-foot tall man with a beard.
Okay.
Does Constance have a metal goblet?
a metal. Yeah. It looks like it's made of
They
metal.
will kind of look over Rada, and this is probably not the first time she's asked at this point. She's like, "Are you sure I can't keep Metal the King's Goblet? It would be really funny."
Do it.
Idea. Our goal is not with him. And we are in a place. What, let me try to get Rada's accent. We are in a place where magic is not welcome. So no.
You don't have to know that I did it.
Idea, do you know how obvious magic is?
Yeah.
That's right. Rada can do damn nuts. She's trying to-
Now, you know I will notice. The women over there will also notice.
Maybe I should go find out if there's a wine table.
Idea,
I like how the
Line?
three people who would encourage this are not available.
The day normally wouldn't really be all that down for this, but he's getting frustrated.
Hey, Mary,
Yes.
can you give me a high or low?
Hi.
Thank you.
Welcome. I'm gonna regret that, aren't I?
Mark up.
What? Did I say something?
You're supposed to say polo.
look,
Yeah.
Idea. Heise. Or wherever you're going by. We are not here to do anything besides learn things. We all do things that we don't want to do. Especially adults. Especially adults who have responsibilities.
I get this weird feeling like the hair on the back of your neck is standing up.
No. What have I done?
This is the most exciting thing that has happened all night to Adea, so Adea eagerly turns around.
Well, Udea hasn't sensed anything yet. It's just
Okay.
like
Quick look
she's
around.
in the middle of like berating you, and she kind of stops because she feels this.
I could learn what it's like to drink too many glasses of wine. I've never done that before.
Quick glance around to look for the source.
White lady is looking right at you.
Oh.
She kind of leans back. She gets her wine glass, takes a sip, and just gets this little quirk to her lip. And you instantaneously know she can see right through your glamour. She knows who you are.
I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
She was busy. She was, socializing. She had more important things to do than worry about whether people would show up who weren't invited.
Are there any people that are leaving? Like, does it seem like people are coming in or leaving when they feel done, or is everyone going to more or less leave at the same time?
And people coming in and out this whole time. Like, there must be other things happening somewhere else too. It's not just all in this banquet hall. She does eventually blink and then look away and start chatting to whoever's next to her. So she's not looking at you now.
The grain's still in the room somewhere, right?
Yes. She is mingling. She's gotten up and she's kind of walking around and mingling with other people. In fact, she's gone up to do her introductions with the new queen. And she's
She
having
did not take Adea with her.
no. The grain's perceptive. She figured you wouldn't want to.
Well, it seems like our cover is blown with the worst possible individual here. Worst possible individual here. Though, I get the feeling she's toying with us. She knows where we are. She is certainly capable of doing things by herself.
But the one who cares least about whether or not I'm actually sitting up properly.
So, I have alter self that I ran. The white lady see through that?
True sight would.
Yep.
Also, doesn't that only last an hour?
It's divine. She has it innately.
No, I was talking about alter self.
Yeah.
Oh, self, yeah, actually.
I will spend it as spell slot.
I have enough spell slots I can use.
I do.
Just
Starts
I
to
mean,
wave. You're just like, woo, hold tight.
Tong would know, like, okay, about an hour has passed. Back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has been a long while. Why don't we go and find the privy?
Okay.
What about the smithy? Have we seen any? There probably aren't any here.
We should probably take her with us just so that she doesn't run off.
Yes, Adea, come with.
Or find a wine table. I think you'd really like it. Have you seen what happens to Aaron? You want to be like that? Are you insane?
I mean, Erden's a happy drunk. That's like the best possible example.
But he did.
Adea is getting that desperate.
You saw what happened with Tooth and the horrible smelling whatever that was that came out of his bag last. I don't want to see you in that state. You're my friend.
All right, it sounds like I don't have much choice. I'm being taken away anyways.
I'm sorry that you're so poor. If I wasn't trying so hard to make sure that I kept up this persona of whatever it is that I am, Albus, that I'd do like a word or story game with you because that would be fun.
Maybe I should go talk with all of the other ladies around here. Except for it seems I'm really bad at that.
You're being confiscated. Again.
Adele looks slightly disappointed that she has failed at her one task, but she begrudgingly accepts.
Leaving, Rada, you feel her eyes on you again.
I think for me, I'm noticing that Idea is looking disappointed. I'm like, I don't think you failed. I think you did a great job. It's more out of sympathy that we want to get you out of here because you don't feel like yourself, and that sounds horrible. I don't feel like myself, but granted, who am I kidding? I can't really talk to anybody anyway. Except for my own party. And the Brownies think that I'm a disgrace because I go on adventures.
And with
Imagine long before Adele got really drunk, she would become a very bubbly drunk.
You're like Bilbo Baggins.
I'm going on an adventure.
And with broken Latin, mixing Greek and Latin, Rada is going to ask a guard, like, where is the bathroom? So my lady can relieve herself. Basically,
Suspect it's probably a chamber pot.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chamber pot down the hall.
alright.
I don't know why that phrase is so funny, but it is. There's a chamber pot down the hall.
And we'll go in the direction that he pointed. And
It's when we took our first class out and we're like, they're like, where's the bathroom? We're like, yeah, it's behind that tree. They're like, what? I'm not even lying. It is behind that tree. And there's just like this tripod toilet seat sitting out behind the tree.
well,
Are there any decorations on the walls? Because we were
there's
walking through
tapestry.
the hall.
Lots of tapestries. And they're like histories of the city and things like that. Various kings.
No armaments on the walls. Got it.
Nope.
And while they're on the way to the chamber pot, Rada is going to inform Tong that the White Lady has seen them, and to inform Erden that they will be leaving.
Right.
So
Erden.
yeah. So basically, while Tong is separated, using the chamber pot, she is going to use sending and tell Erden, like, yeah, apparently that White Lady has seen us. So we are leaving while we are still alive.
And Erden, when you receive that message, that's where we're gonna end for today. So you're screwing around in the war room when you get this message.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like the Pink Panther theme should be playing while Ernest's doing anything like this.
Absolutely.
At least it hasn't turned to Benny Hill yet.
Oh man.
So you guys ready for the inn to burn down?
No, not again.
Whose fault is it this time?
The White Lady.
Okay.
Yes.
Just make sure.
Second verse, same as the first.
No more verses. Change the song.
Though this interaction has reminded me of another quote, so I now have more ammunition for my incorrect quotes.
By the way, Marco, I like the one between Erden and Brina where Brina's like, "Can I swear?" I'm like, yeah, no, that would yeah.
Yeah, it kind of feels like something that would show up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't do this, and it's like, well, I'm pretty good at it in several languages, so take your time. It's very cathartic. And the English are very good at it.
And what?
Your mother was a hamster and your father smelt of elderberries. I spit in your general direction.
You have the consistency of an uncrunchy leaf. Sorry, that's from the little short that I found today.
Yeah,